Slide to the left. Alright, first things first. Let's set that up. The idea of this playthrough, apart from beating as much of the PvE as we can with minimal effort, is going to be unlocking most of the things we can in this game. So it's not supposed to be a speed run to making an Invader. It's more for a high investment character, which, you know, let's be honest, if you're trying to beat everything, you know, obtain all of these items legit on a low level character, you might as well go for that anyway. It's not like you're saving time over muling. But no, it makes me feel better about using late game gear or just really powerful things. And I find it more fun than just doing normal PvE in some respects. It's a nice challenge run, and it teaches you a lot about how utterly broken this game is. I don't think anyone's watching right now, but if you are and you're typing comments, I'm sorry that I'm not seeing them. I don't think I have the widget set up. We'll have to get that fixed. Anyway, if you go to the left here, I think that's the best way to just ignore the tree sentinel. Always get things from Kali later. In fact, we're gonna come back here for the summoning bell anyhow, so we'll do that in a second. As comes is hopefully not a surprise, our first goal is going to be getting to the round table hold, getting Torrent, getting the Soar Seal, and that'll get us set up for the Margit fight. We'll also want the Whetstone Blade, but there's a few things to take care of early on in the game, and especially before we get to the plateau. Okay, nice hitbox. Especially because we are on a faith character. This is embarrassing. Because we're on a faith character, we're going to want the wet blade for the fire infusion and the flame infusion, since that'll give us faith scaling. But I mean, it's not the scaling so much that's important, although it helps, but it turns some of our Ashes of War slightly more optimal, like Flaming Slash. And on low level characters, not only does every bit of base damage count, but having Ashes of War that give you buffs is adding, you know, effectively like 20-30% more AR to your weapon. All the better if it has utility as a spammable Ash of War. Alright, we'll just say yes. This while we're here. Okay. We'll put the whistle there. Right, so let's go to the third church. In general, actually, let's not go to the third church. We should go, well, it's still night, we should go over to Church of LA. I guess I could have grabbed the Grace first, but we make mistakes here. Obviously this isn't necessary, but you know, it's free stuff. And, you know, we simp for Ronnie here, so we will be completing the Ronnie quest line. It's not super important on this character, and we can put it off for a while. But you know, it never hurts to do so. And of course, you know, this isn't intended to be a guide on how to beat PvE as Prophet. It's a guide on how to beat the PvE at low level on any character. And the Prophet has certain advantages and disadvantages compared with other RL10 builds. But they're not significant enough that it's going to fundamentally change how we approach various bosses. It just slightly changes up what talisman setup you may have. In the case of the Prophet, you're hurting the most for endurance, for carry weight. Whereas on other characters, you're probably gonna put on the 2 fingers talisman. Sorry, Bach, we're gonna get to you later. We'll get to you later. We can grab the beetle here. Don't have to, but it's a useful Ash of War. We actually don't have to grab any upgrade materials. Obviously, you can if you want to. You could potentially build a stronger version of any character I would be building by taking your upgrade to +3, +1. But I'm not fond of doing so. It takes a little bit away from the challenge run aspect of the game. And I think it gets into bullying territory when you're, I don't know, maybe that's a bit hypocritical of me to say, but I feel like putting a restriction on yourself is more interesting. And you'll be plenty powerful at this level bracket anyway, just by using the optimal ashes, optimal setups. Will it give you an edge against the overleveled Phantom? Yeah, a little bit. But ultimately, you only really have to defeat the host in the first place. Everything beyond that is you know, a challenge you can choose to take on or not. I've been planning on making this video for a while, this video series, and I haven't really planned any of this out, so it's gonna be pretty by the ear. But ever since you, Elden Twink, I forget the rest of his username, but Elden Twink over on the Bad Redman subreddit made his video series, I've been wanting to put this out faster, because it's very similar in a lot of ways, very different in other ways as well. And I know seeing the positive response to that has made me want to do, you know, my part, so to speak. Okay, we'll put that. We haven't actually filled that, but that's okay, because we are never going to be putting a health pot in there. So to speak. Okay. We could grab the map, but we just want to do the usual setup here. Here's another thing. On a lot of like Taunter's Tongue Invader playthroughs, I wouldn't bother getting the source seal, because, you know, why bother? If you have to take it off, you might as well, be weaker at the start, but develop into your strength sort of linearly. But at RL10, you will permanently have this on at all times. We're also going to grab the Grace in the Sanctum, since it's right here. We're not in a hurry, and we're going to be doing this quest line, especially as a Prophet Star, because you're meeting, and more than meeting, the requirements for all the utility incantations. Both for PvE and for PvP, a small investment in faith is disproportionately powerful, I feel, to intelligence. Although intelligence makes up for it in these low-level builds by having way better damage scaling. You can do some truly disgusting things. I suppose we could bring that up, we can talk about that later. Yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier. Oh gosh, I think ignore the background noise, if you will. It's the neighbors. Nothing I can do about it. Maybe I should close the window. It's one of those frustrating things, because in my apartment itself, there's all these rules about being quiet, but I get the window facing the apartment next door, which is full of college kids doing college kid stuff. Let's avoid the. We'll be coming back for this fellow. He's important. This tree avatar is important. Late in the run, very late in the run. But for now, we won't be visiting him. Are we gonna kill the dragon? I mean, this is the easiest dragon to kill, but we can put it off for now. Romp Breath isn't truly necessary for a few bosses, and we do have to grab the Albinuric Mask before we can cast it. Alright, we'll go to the round table hold. Here, let me take this moment to check if there's anyone in the stream. No, there's no one in the stream. Okay. Do we have to do anything here? Oh, we could take on. We could grab the Taunter's Tongue. It's not really required. I guess we'll get through Gideon style luck, cause fuck that guy. Sorry, I should control my language. Gideon, you are a nasty, rude person, and I will gladly kill you later on in this run. We are not going to talk to Fia right now. We don't really have to do that. Okay. We have some runes on us. We might as well. No. We don't care about things like that. Let's just get this done. Okay. Now, if you don't know the whole Radagans thing, either you're new to invasions, or you're new to this game, because everyone and their mom has seen a guide showing you where to get this. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was not quite fast enough. Well, I guess this will be a death run. We are grabbing the the Dectus medallion, but we won't be using it immediately, and I have a reason for that. Right, I mentioned earlier, right, we got to get the red hot whetstone, and that is available before beating Radon, if, only if, we do it before going to Altus. So although you can go to Altus early, oh, fudge. Well, that's embarrassing. But we will not be doing Altus early. We'll begin there when we're getting there. So that's why it's not super urgent to go grab the dragon. Alright, there you go, we didn't get poisoned this time. I'm debating whether or not I want to immediately go to rune level 10. I know that's the conceit, but it's also kind of interesting just to show how far you can go on base level. And you know, mechanically speaking, it's not a hugely different run. Oh gosh. Apart from, you know, the small margins of health that are gonna differ. You can actually get out of here like though. Oh, I take that back. You actually cannot. At least it's rather rare. Doesn't matter though, you know, if we're gonna be skin flints about 300 runes, it's kind of over. Alright, so we got the source seal. It's mission number 1 accomplished. I guess we can go over and grab some graces over here. I guess this is a good time to mention, right? So that's another thing about these, I like about these low level runs, is that by the virtue of not having scaling, at least a significant amount of scaling on your weapons, as well as the fact that it's a struggle just to meet requirements on a lot of weapons, your build is essentially optimized no matter, you know, no matter what your build is, because there's just one build, right? And obviously different starting classes are going to be more or less optimized for different, slightly different setups. And if you have a particular set of weapons you want to use as a low level invader, you could just choose to, you know, do a build that has requirements aiming towards that. But the reason I have 4 different RL10 save files, if we include this one, is because I find it rather interesting to get to enjoy the variety of all the weapons and setups in this game. And have them all be effectively optimized for that level. You know, usually you wouldn't be so carefree using such a wide variety of weapons on a build if you care a lot about optimization. You know, it's like, is this weapon, you know, this is a faith weapon, but it's a more dex leaning, or this is a strength weapon, so on and so forth. And none of that matters here. I think we can make it down to the town from here, but if we die, it's fine. It's not a huge issue. Alright, we could also go over there. But I don't think we're gonna. Actually, we can just falter our deaths here, I think. Oh. We actually lived that. Huzzah. Okay, where can we get down? I don't think we can get down. No, there we go. Okay, so we're going to grab the understair side of grace since we're here. Ta-da! We could grab Rotten Stray. I mean, I think we have the FP for it. And it will make some of the early game bosses a little bit easier. But it's not at all optimal for beating this game. Alright. So we're not going to upgrade this. Since we're here, we can go grab a lovely seed here. Alright. You can always come back if you want to grab, say, you know, double slash, so on and so forth. But it's not huge. Just dodge and weave. We are still extremely fragile, and we always will be as a prophet. We can jump up here without relaying the dog. Progress this quest line. We can actually progress this quest line immediately if we wanted to. We'll do it later, but we can take out O'Neill either using the swamp itself, which honestly is faster, or we can use Poison Mist, which we can grab from the Weeping Peninsula. But we'll hold off on that for a minute, since we are doing our little Kayla journey here. We'll go grab the Church of Dragon Communion site of grace, and then head over to the castle. We can grab the Flame Slash Ash of War. Although we might do that on a second trip, since it's a little risky. This is where we will be eventually cashing in a Dragon Heart. For Rot Breath, that's the only dragon incantation you will need in this run. In my personal ethic, I would say never use that against another human being, even if they're shitters. But, you know, you're free to do whatever you want, you absolute degenerate. Alright, so let's see if we can't grab that grace. Another thing we'll want to do before we go to Altus is do the Bogart quest line And by questline, I mean, you know, buy Rise Locket, buy some crab from him so we can get him to move up to Altus immediately. Very helpful for bosses to have crab meat. All that kind of thing. Alright. This place we may die a lot. I'm not so good with the fireballs. One hurdle. Oh gosh, I messed that up. It's a bit of a stressful run here. Make sure to mind the gap. Alright, and now we're going to grab this. One of the best. Okay. Let's get out of here. Fleming Strike, very good Ash of War for PvP. It's decent for PvE stuff, but we won't be using it in boss fights. It's very unnecessary. We'll get a better one at Fort Gale. Just gonna roll down here. Run this away. And as long as we can grab the Grace, we're golden. But it's a little tricky up here with the fire launchers. God. There we go. We're in, boys. Now. Gonna grab a few things. We could go grab the flamberge. But first things first. Getting that whetstone. Alright, see how easy it is? Pay no mind, pay no heed to the Iron Maiden. Sorry, Iron Version. Let's stealth and hopefully deal with the aggro. There we go. Then we can go get the flamberge. We're not gonna particularly use it. I just really like that, so I'm gonna go grab that. And of course, if we go to Altus, we can't grab it no more. So here we go. Right up here. I think there's a cookbook or two around here as well. It's not super urgent to grab them though. Oh, I'm sweating. Actually, a smithing stone. I'm not sure why I'm up here. I suppose, you know, if you're If you're doing a normal playthrough, you would care about that. It's not a huge issue though. Yeah, let's see if we can't go grab that that book as well. I think it's this way. I think over there. Let's see if these lines leave us alone for long enough. Farmer's Cookbook. Very nice. And if we can slip past that page real fast, we can also grab the other cookbook. It's around here. Cook the dog. Open the shortcut. And we're home free. We're home scot-free, boys. That's the Red Main Castle. That's everything we need to do for now. We can always come back for Chedon. Get that music stopped. Let's see. So what do we want next? We're gonna want to be collecting. Right. We want to go down. We want to go down south. So we will be grabbing the map here, making our way downtown. Personally, when I do these runs, I do like to farm up my favorite drip, which is the Mausoleum Surcoat with the Bullgoat set. But as the endurance on Prophet is absolute garbage, worse than the Astrologer because of optimization. The Astrologer, you can wear the Hero Desk crown, which will give you +2 endurance, so effectively you have like 9 or something. Prophet, I mean, you could wear it, but it's not. You probably want to just boost your faith or something, or boost a physical stat. I mean, it's not like you can't wear it. It kind of looks goofy, you know, when you're not a wizard. And I'm saying that despite Hero Desk Crown being the least goofy looking Glintstone crown around. So we're gonna add ourselves over here. We can grab the other medallion half as well since we're down here. Never hurts. We will be doing a lot of, you know, oh gosh, I need to turn off Steam notifications. One moment. Alright, we're back. Oh, and I have a viewer. Lovely. Thanks for hopping in. Alright. Where were we? Right here. Grabbing the medallion, the other half of the lift medallion. I won't be using it quite yet. but it is nice to have. I'm not actually going to do the quest here, just because it's actually a very convenient location to farm the chain link flail, which, you know, it's kind of a crud weapon, but it's kind of a pain farming it anywhere else. So we're gonna hold off for a minute. Okay. For you bleed build enthusiasts out there, at low level, the flat bonus from grease on a uninfused weapon is pretty much better than doing a normal bleed infusion. I mean, the equation goes out of the the equation goes out the window if you are grabbing seppuku ash, which we will be doing later. But that's one of those ashes of war I really don't like using. It's a little overtuned. I think it goes beyond the pale. So we won't be using that in this build or any other build for the most part. Okay, so we want to get down here. I think we can make it up from Fort Height, but we can also take the other route. So we'll take the first step route. The Whipping Peninsula is a great spot to get loaded up on flasks. Whether you're doing something like, a Limgrave locked run, which is where you don't leave Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula, apart from grabbing your invasion item. I think, in terms of just the seeds and chalices within the Greater Limgrave area, you can get up to like 9+4, I think. Oh, that's a notification. Oh, hey, Genoa, welcome. Glad to see you. Yeah, like I said, I don't have the proper streaming setup. I'm very new to this, so I don't have the stream actually show what's going on. I wonder if I can fix that from the Streamlabs menu. Probably can. I should take a minute to do that once I'm out of combat. But yeah, we are headed towards the Weeping Peninsula. We just went to Castle Redmane and grabbed what there was there to grab. Do we want to talk to Yura? We don't need to talk to Yura. We can talk to him later. Yeah, there's a set of grease around here, though. Might as well grab it. And I need to close the window. We have a joke around here about how I keep people in the basement, but really I'm the one being tortured here. That's not a joke. Give me a second. There you go. That's not gonna block it all out, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's see if we can't get notifications to work. Oh, hey, how's it going? Okay, you've done streaming before. Do you know how to get the comments to show? Or do you need to install a widget for that? Looking at the settings here. Whenever you type comments. As it is, I have to tab out of the game to see. Oh, maybe it's in the chat settings. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm using, yes, I'm using Streamlabs. So it's in the chat settings. Um, is in the wheel there? I'm not seeing it. Or maybe I just missed it. Chat appearance? No. Sorry. You need, okay, yeah, so it is a widget. All right, I'll have to implement that for my next stream then. But I'll be tabbing out on the regular. I'll have to edit it out in the quote unquote post. But yeah, thanks for coming by. I hope whatever it was resolved itself. But yeah, I'll sort of rehash what I did before here. Is I went all the way. I used the teleporter to get to Fort Ferrith, and I went all the way down, grabbed some loot from Redmain Castle. The reason being, if you do it before going to Altus, you can get the wet blade and all the other stuff without having to beat Radahn, which is going to be convenient for us. We're doing the Faith build. We're doing the Prophet Start RL10 Invader experience. Did I? No, I grabbed the Grace, didn't I think so. We could always jump across using the stream here, but we won't need to do that. Okay. Got the Stone Sword key, that'll be useful. Grab the Grace over here. We will not be talking to Hayata. Actually, now that I think about it, the as convenient as it would be to have the seal, I don't think you can have it on a +0 character, because Edgar the Revenger drops one of them, and that's gonna screw with your soul memory. No, weapon level bracket. I got Dark Souls 2 on the brain. Dark Souls 2 too. But we're grabbing the spiked mace because that's a good weapon, and we can use it to cheese the dragon later, as we do. And speaking of cheesing, there is a very important, extremely important, one of our major tools in our arsenal as a PvE cheeser coming up here. So let's go grab that. Maybe I should have bought Flame Sling from Corwin. That would have made things slightly simpler. But we don't really have to go. Actually, let's grab the seed up here. I'll grab the seed. And we could just kill the golem since we're here, but we don't want to screw with the upgrade level, and there isn't all that much in Castlemorn that's required on a low level character. We could grab the Claymore, I guess, but we have to two-hand that, I think. But somewhere around here, it's going to be, there you go, a Scarab. We're going to want to sneak up on and catch flame. And I screwed that up. There we go. Poison Mist. That is the fart spell. It's absolutely required. Well, At least if we want to take care of the Draconic Tree Sentinel with no risk. We can do a Rot Breath strategy, which will be faster, but you also risk getting bodied in that case. Anywho, let's go grab our flask upgrades. At some point, the flask upgrades, apart from number, become pointless, since one flask will heal you to full. It's very like a Soul Level 1 challenge in that way. But that's a really helpful thing late game for PvE, because you can get the Ritual Shield Talisman, you know, it's the Lloyd Shield Talisman of this game, and continue to survive single attacks from, you know, end game bosses. Not every attack, mind you, but a decent number of them. So that's pretty nice, I think. Actually, I think if we go this way, we could go grab, I believe, an incantation. Just find the Spirit Spring over here. I think somewhere around here. Oh, it's not a Spirit Spring. It's something a little bit scarier. But fortune favors the brave. Just have to. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh gosh. Get me out of here! Okay, let's see. What can we get down from here? Okay, we survived. We can grab a grace. I don't usually take this route, but you know, we're grabbing incantations. What do we have now? Which one was that? Lightning Strike? I don't think we'll be using that one. Don't laugh. We can this is where you would get the anchor in a normal playthrough. I'm not gonna get the anchor. This isn't a strength build. We don't have the endurance for that. As funny as it is, but gives us a nice way to get into this valley. And from here we can grab a couple of extremely important items. One of them is going to be right here. It's the Faith Knot Talisman. On just about any other build than that of the Prophet, it would be extremely important, since it doesn't take a talisman slot but lets you cast incantations. It's plus 10 faith for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, you've probably either beaten the boss or you were never going to beat the boss. For some of the tough ones. As a Prophet, though, we won't actually need it. That said, if we have anything with decent faith scaling, 10 points of faith is a significant boost and might be worth it. There it is. But yeah, I'm showing it mainly because on a normal run, this is one of our best tools, since it lets us cast those good incantations. 20 faith is very key for late game bosses, since it lets you cast Black Flame, which is % health damage, fire damage, which is also pretty good for a lot of bosses. It takes care of things that are immune to status. I think I'll conclude this stream a little bit before doing the market fight, since well, clearly I need to fix some settings, like getting chat to show up, and I want to make sure it's recording on Twitch as well. I think that would be nice if I can sort of double dip on recordings. I am also manually recording this for the sake of making an edited video. It's gonna lose the commentary, but I can just go over. I mean, it's probably best to have a non-commentary version as well. But I'm having fun, you know, because that's what matters. I'm having fun doing the commentary over this sort of live, getting some practice in. There is a decent incantation right up here that we can grab. We can also grab the scythe, but we'll do that later. It's not like we have the stats to cast it yet. But that can be useful, potentially against Margit. Of the fort spells, I've come around to agreeing with the people who say the only one that's really necessary to carry around in PvP is the magic fort spell, since that's sort of the most annoying spam that you're going to face. But you know, PvE, you can use the holy fort spell, and if you have the spell slots, it's not like you can't carry it around and pull it out. Sometimes there's people that spam Blade of Calling, Blade of Death. Great way to discourage such actions. A lot of Malekith cosplayers out there. You know what I'm talking about. You know who you are out there. See them all the time. Maybe they were the furries among us all along. Well, we won't think about that deeply. We could be grabbing these co-op checkpoints, honestly. We don't need them for invading, but you know. It's alright. This is a really important grace here, because in my opinion this is the best spot to farm the four-toed foul feet from. If you go down the beach there's a bunch of penguin looking birds. I don't think this counts as going to Altus, but actually I'm not going to risk it. We won't go to the isolated tower yet. There's another grace around, you might as well grab it. Grab all the graces. We will be going up there to kill the Erdtree eventually, but we don't need to do it right now. We'll do it when we've got everything easy mode set up. We can go visit Kali in a minute here, buy some crackpots maybe. Alright, here's this grace. There's one more grace in this peninsula, or, well, a couple more in the castle, but we won't grab those right now. We can grab the one up here, and we can grab a spell slot while we're at it if we want to. This is a slow prep walkthrough. This isn't meant to show how to do everything as fast as possible, although it will be useful for people who are doing that. But, right, Elden, you know, Elden Twink already made a sort of speedrun guide, and although there's some strategies on there that I think are better in my version, if you want to get through everything quickly, he's got the best version for that. He's supposed to be around here somewhere. There it is. Time to commit animal cruelty against dogs. Just as easy as that. Yeah, you'd be surprised how useful all these spell slots are on a low level character. I mean, probably as doubly so for a faith caster. Just because there's like 5 or more utility spells you might as well carry around with you all the time. And I mean that for PvE, or sorry, for PvP. PvE, you're probably just going to prepare the spells you need for the particular situation. I mean, you can go around equipped with all the PvE utility spells, but I figure in a boss fight, you really want to simplify the bar as much as possible, because you're not really going to apply a lot of different tools to each boss fight in terms of incantations. Alright, where are we? Oh, there's one more grace. It's right over there. Might as well grab that too. The Impaler's Catacombs. It's a decent spot to farm like Cathead at, but I don't think Cathead is at all optimal for low level builds. So there's a lot of bugs down here actually, so if you wanted to farm them on a low level character instead of just getting the medicine peddler's bell bearing, you could do that, but that's really a Limgrave lock kind of thing, because I will be later showing how to kill all the bell bearing hunters, which is pretty easy with Rot and Poison Mist, and we can just buy it with all the souls we're gonna get. Which is mighty convenient. Okay, I'm gonna go to Gate Front. We're gonna run north. We're gonna grab some golden seeds. We're gonna grab the Uchi, because I'm pretty sure Uchi is one of the best, if not the best, weapons for taking on the first couple bosses. You can probably, I mean, so basically your main sidearm for PvE is gonna be the Misericord with Flame of the Redmanes. It remains viable through PvE all the way through the end of the game, even without upgrades. But I think you have to grab it from Stormveil Castle. And there's some bosses where I don't think it's quite as worth it. Like Renala, the bleed, the stagger damage from jump attacks with Katana is already pretty good. Oh gosh. The bleed is nice, the stance breaking is nice, and the fire resist and riposte damage you get, maybe not worth bothering with. But yeah, Katana definitely does a trick. But I don't recommend it for, I mean, it's so good, you can, if you really wanted to, you could just kill Godfrey by stance breaking him with a Katana and just getting good, which is what I did the first time around. But I don't recommend it, because it's just so much easier to do Flame of the Redmanes for that particular use case. Let's see, how far do we go here? I'm goofing. I am goofing. Going up too far. We don't really lose out on anything by not going back to Stormveil here. We don't have to though. Anyway, we do want to get our buddy here to sell us Ashes of War. We'll get to that once we start killing a bunch of bosses, because all the souls are basically wasted on this. We do no upgrades, we do no leveling. No, this is gonna be a level 10 build, I mentioned this before. This is a level 10 build, but since we're here, we might as well go as far as we can without leveling up at all. Because some people are going to do base class just to make it, you know, marginally harder for themselves. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to learn how. Okay, in this camp, I think there's a... Is that a cookbook? No, I think it's a Terrius leaf. We will go grab our friend Alexander here, since we do want to do his quest line. And my plan is... My main plan for this... Oh, sorry. Oopsies. My main plan for the series is taking everyone to the mountaintops of the giants, but since I've gotten Malkuth before, I think I'll show all the way up to final boss. It just may take a while to get that far. Alright, do I have the jellyfish? Did I get the jellyfish from her? I did not get the jellyfish from her. That's actually an issue. We need to get the jellyfish. Well, we don't need to. But, you know, getting the chrysalids, fancy spin emote. Right, these are the kinds of things we're going to care about in this playthrough. So, you know. We're going to be very powerful in that sense. Okay, I hope I didn't muck this up. There we go. Excellent. See? We can correct our mistakes. Speaking of, we should go kill Henricus, because that is something that cannot be taken back once we kill... Unless I think we can't take it back when we kill Margaret. Maybe you can. There's some point in the story at which Henricus no longer invades. We're going to not want that to happen. His, the talisman he drops is very marginal in utility, but, you know, it's alright. This guy here, absolute wonderful merchant. Sells this cracked pot, poison bow arrows, and the halberd. We'll come back for this though. We'll be coming back for that. I don't plan on killing all the merchants. That is an option that is available to people. And if you want to make it easy on yourself, I suppose you would do that. But, I'm not a fan of doing that. Unfortunately, we will be letting our man Bogart get killed, because Dung Eater is a very good spirit, and we will be making use of that in this run. Let's see, we could go to Fort Gale through here and take care of Tarnished Eater, or we could choose not to. We're gonna come back once we have the Sacred Blade Ash of War here, which we can get from the Third Church of America. We will begin that eventually, but we're gonna ignore this boss for now. I think we want to grab a broadsword or something beforehand, because the spear is not my favorite for this. We do not need this. The stamina regen, not as crucial as it was in previous games, I feel like. Not worth the slot on an invader. Or in PvE. Maybe if you're doing like a great shield run. Right, and we're gonna fire here, but in order to avoid getting invaded on the first time you enter the church, you can come up these up this cliff. Ta-da! You can get the recipe for the silver fowl foot, which is very nice, because when we're farming some of the hard to drop weapons, it'll be useful. Alright, we know the program here. We're getting invaded any moment now. Oh gosh. I messed that up. We will not talk about that. Necessary sacrifice. Are we talking about Bogart? You hate to do it to the man, dude. You hate to do it to the man. I feel terrible, you know, people out there slamming, you know, Kenneth Haidt, saying it was absolutely worthless. I never killed Kenneth Haidt. I think it's kind of based. Like, unbelievable. Perhaps I should have upgraded my flask before I did this. I most certainly should have done that. This is not looking good. Alright, we'll upgrade the flasks. Well, we'll cut this out. We'll cut this out in editing. She does drop the Sacred Scorpion Charm, which may be useful in a later fight that we may or may not choose to do. I don't highly recommend using it, because you already take a lot of damage, right? Alright, this is Weeping Peninsula paying off in dividends. Right, at this point, we're already healing to max off of one flask. We're going to allot these like so. It's just that easy. And we will be eventually maxing out our flasks. It's not that hard. But maybe I should have put my faith boosting physic on as well. In these games, it's all about, you know, not being too lazy in your preparations. We'll just do running attacks, maybe. It's got no poise. There we go. That was more trouble than it should have been. Don't be lazy, folks. Do your homework. Alright. Well, why did we do this? Well, we did it for the souls, and we did it because we're on our way to the most important Ash of War that you will obtain in this run. And no, it's not Bloodhound Step. Bloodhound Step was extremely useful before it got nerfed. It's still a little bit useful for PvE. but honestly, it's rarely necessary. And we're gonna do just fine without it. In fact, I would say there's like no boss fight where you should be using it. Unironically, I don't use it in Millennia. I know I haven't beaten Millennia, but I don't use it in Millennia. I don't think it's at all necessary. You can get through phase 1 pretty easily. It's the phase 2 that's the hard part. But we're just gonna make our way down. Make our way downtown, walking around. We'll come back for that later. I don't feel extremely secure yet. But Fort Gale North, remember that location because that is where we get Flame of the Red Mains, and Flame of the Red Mains is the most important Ash 4 if we're doing this the funny run. And we have angered a force beyond reckoning, so let's get out of here. The Site of Grace is right there. Alright, we can see it. Once we grab it, we're gonna try to grab that Ash of War, and we'll be almost set for Margit. Though we might want to grab the Uchi. Just because Unsheath, I want to show how to do it with Unsheath. Although I think Flame of the Red Mains will do just as well, if not better. Oh, that's right. Since we're here, let me teach you how to most easily kill these scarabs. They're invisible. Just put Storm Stomp on. Why not? Makes Wonders Physic. So we got nothing better to do. Let's throw that out there. Boost our skilling with it. Okay. Then we'll find where someone has helpfully left a message, like right here. And just spam the Ash of War when it comes by. Like so. Hey, got it in one. Right, Flame of the Red Mains. It's part 1 of our combination. And then I'm gonna go grab the Uchi because Uchi's pretty decent at getting Margit, and like I said, I want to show how to do it. It's gonna be over here. So go north. Let's take a Henricus, since that's on the way. And then we'll cash in the ruins. And I think that's where we'll close episode 1 of this. Also, this is a great spot to farm root resin, if you want to do that. Okay. North we go. We beat the wolves by ignoring them. They do not exist. If you do not see them, they do not see you. And we have been invaded. It's all according to plan. We got the red sign soapstone. Eventually. Easy as pie. Absolutely busted. And yet we will not be using this for Margit, though we could. Because once again, I kind of want to show the universal strategy. And this is not the universal strategy. The universal strategy is Flame of the Red Mains, Uchi, Misericord, that kind of thing. Also, we want it for Millennia because she has, I think, decent fire resist, and definitely I know the katana works wonders against her. Here, Golden Vow. I suppose I could be using that. I usually don't, but you know, we can always throw it on a dagger as a pre-fight buff. This is a, oh, we don't need this. It's a Somber 1. I mean, it's obviously helpful if you're doing a run where you do upgrade, but okay, right over here. Okay, we want to drop down that way. Oh, and we want to grab the strength here, strength not physic as well, which is around here. I mean, not as important on this character, especially once we get the Star Scourge heirloom, which is also available in Fort Gale North, or in Fort Gale itself, but we don't have to get that yet because we only have one talisman slot. And that'll bring us up to what we have currently, like 16 strength, so it'll take us to 21 strength, so we can equip weapons of up to 30 strength requirement. That's honestly more than we need. Currently we're clocking at 22 two-handed. Yeah, that gets us just about everything we want. Okay, so in the catacombs, what are we grabbing? We're not even going to do the boss. We just want the Uchi. We'll be back later. It's, of course, you know, it's a funny thing you could do is like go to these dungeons and ask for help, and then slam down with Blasphemous Blade. It's only funny to you though, because everybody's gonna think you just had someone drop it for you, like a degenerate. We don't really need the glove wart, but whatever. Okay, there's the Uchi. Is that a ghost glove wart? No, it's just grave. Well, our task here is done. By the way, Storm Stomp is my preferred tool for taking, farming the birds for discovery rate boosting items and stuff. Because they don't react to Ashes of War in the same way that they react to attacks, for some reason. Okay, so we're gonna get Uchi. Let's put some armor on. Never hurts. I'm sure I'm forgetting something I said I was gonna do. This is a Dark Souls thing. We gotta get out there. But yeah, unsheath. That'll kill things. Alright, a couple things. So let's get the strength not physic because, you know, it doesn't hurt. And then let's buy some armor from the Two Fingers, or the Twin Husks, I mean. I like the Mausoleum armor, but I'm not going to spend time on stream farming for it. At least not right now. Maybe in a later stream. Let's see, I think... Is it down here? Yeah, it's down here. Right up there. The strength not physic. Which, if you're trying to meet strength requirements for a temporary thing like a boss fight, or you just want to boost, especially on like a hero where you're maxing out your strength, it's a nice boost. A little bit more effective on heavy infusions than fire, so it's less valuable than it may seem at first, but it's still a boost. And you can use it before you get the elemental infusion boosting physic, right? The cracked flame tier, or whatever it's called. But those are the things sort of in the end game of PvP setup that you'll be using. Oh, forget about this place. Not that we need it. Alright, so I think that's all the setup we need to do. Alright, and apart from buying stuff. And we'll be putting the stream to a close in just a little bit, just so I can see everyone's lovely voices. By everyone, I mean you, Genoa. Okay, let's get that crafting kit. Let's get those. We can always check. Oh, holy water pots. Okay, we're gonna want those eventually. Or taking out the birds. And we could always save up and get Margaret Shackle, so maybe we should do that. I mean, we are trying to show how to do this the easiest way. The easiest way, or close to it. let's purchase. We cannot purchase. It is too expensive. Well then, I think that is where we will cut this episode. Or this stream, I should say. But thanks for coming by. And I'll try to get everything sorted out for next stream. Alright. Stop the recording. Stop the stream. Take care.